Hey guys, welcome to the Buttermilk Box. Today we're going to be making pimento cheese and buttermilk crackers. So the first thing you're going to want to do, get all the hard stuff out of the way first. Let's grate 8 ounces of Monterey Jack cheese, 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese. You can go as far as a medium, but don't do mild, that's silly. So, notice that I did really grate this. This did not come out of a bag because that's covered in a starch and it's going to keep it from becoming more of a cohesive lump of cheese, okay? So the other stuff we need is, and I've just done this with a box grater, we have a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic, I have salt and pepper at the ready, and my current obsession is with freeze-dried chive. So I'm going to add some chive to this as well. I have half of a cup of sour cream, 1 cup of mayonnaise. Guys, if you can get your hands on Duke mayonnaise or Duke's mayonnaise, do it. It's worth it. And in my big bowl, I already have a couple of ounces of cream cheese. So let's get that cream cheese just a little mixed around, just a little softened up so it will blend together. This is my secret ingredient, right? So actually my secret ingredient is probably going to be a little bit of Cajun seasoning, which we'll talk about as well. This is super simple. So let's just dump everything liquid-ish into your big bowl. You're going to need a big bowl for this because it's going to take a lot of elbow grease to get this together. Notice I have just a nice rubber spatula that I'm using. Gets things all together. There goes my garlic and my onion. Okay. Yes, it is. It's loose, it's wet, but that's exactly what we want because it's going to go in the refrigerator overnight. And of course, anytime you've ever made any sort of salad that has mayo in it, you know that it tightens up really, really quickly. And that was about 3 ounces, 4 ounces of pimentos that I drained. I didn't want any of the juice. And you know what? Minus that, we're done. Bring something cold, it has to be highly seasoned. Get that really well stirred around. Let's get a little spoon and give that a taste. There we go. Here goes nothing, right? I could actually eat this exactly as it is right now. So delicious. Put it in a container, put it in the refrigerator, calm yourselves, don't eat it yet. First we're going to make some buttermilk crackers. We'll be right back with that. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's get to our buttermilk crackers. So what I have in my food processor now is the flour, sugar, and salt. Everything pre-measured, of course, so I have that in there. I've just mixed it just a little bit, just so that it's aerated. I have 5 tablespoons of nice ice-cold butter. And unlike we do for biscuits, we want to take this down to a really small size. So maybe we will need 6 or 7 pulses. Remember, when you're pulsing, don't just do that. Let it run for a second each time. Of course, when you're doing this, please be very, very careful. You are sticking your hand in here with that blade. And my pieces are just slightly bigger than a BB, so I want to go just a little bit further. Yeah, even some a little bit bigger than that. So I do want to go a little bit further before we start adding in our buttermilk. That's all I want to do. Now, because I don't trust myself with pouring of liquids into a little tube, I'm going to add, and we have half of a cup of buttermilk plus 2 tablespoons, and that's what I have here. I don't want to add all of this at one time. So I'm going to add half of that, maybe a little bit more. First go around. Perfect. Let's see if I can do this without making a huge, huge mess. I'm really bad about making messes. That is, I do have buttermilk everywhere now. But it's not quite starting to come together yet, and that's why we want this extra 2 tablespoons. But again, I'm not going to add all of it. Let us. It's coming together, right? So what I want to do is I want to add about half of my Benny seeds, or sesame seeds if that's what you have, Benny seeds into this now so that that's part of the cracker itself and not just sitting on top. And let's see. When this comes to a ball, it's where I want it. There it goes. And that's all there is to it. This is why don't add all of that buttermilk at one time, or then you're just going to be fighting with it, trying to get that ratio right. So I have plastic wrap already here for me, for myself, and we're not going to mess with this dough at all. What we're going to do with it is just get it out of the food processor, make sure that blade goes somewhere safe, and it's just going to go in the refrigerator. It's going to be in there for 30 minutes. It needs to, of course, chill, but most importantly, because it's been through the food processor and we're making a cracker, not a bread or anything like that, we want this to become extremely relaxed, okay? Because otherwise you're going to end up with a chewy cracker, and we don't want that. Okay? Just a nice ball. Its final shape is going to be flat, so let's give it a little bit of flattening right here before it goes in the fridge. Make sure when you're wrapping that you're getting the air out. Don't trap air in, or it's going to cause some dry, crunchy spots in your dough. And guys, that's all there is to it. This is so easy. I love these easy recipes with lots of incredible flavor. So that's going to go in the refrigerator. I'm going to clean up my mess. Make sure we get our oven preheated. Let me check that once to 350 degrees. Let's pop that up to 375, okay? So 375 degrees. This is going to be resting in the fridge for half an hour, and we're going to clean up. We'll see you guys back as soon as it's done. Okay guys, we're back. Now it is time to roll out our dough. If you don't have a silicone mat or a Silpat that works well with your baking tray, then cut a piece of parchment paper that's going to do that for you. I want to just lay out some flour on this because we are going to roll this as evenly and as thinly as we can, as long as it's taking up the whole space here. So, yes, if you see a little bit of sticky, that's because I rushed it just a little bit, but time is of the essence, right? So, flour on the top, flour on the bottom, all that kind of good stuff. I might have to be a little bit generous with the flour on this, like I said, just because I pulled it out of the fridge a little early. I want to, and I do this with most every dough that I'm using, I start to get that shape. Sorry, I don't know why that was there. I want to get that shape going by hand. Right? I am just better with my hands than I am with the rolling pin. Make sure that we can move that around. Flour your pen a little bit, and let's go. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut it. If you have a pizza cutter, it's going to be perfect for that. But you'll see just a second why we are using the mat. Okay? So let's just clean it up. I'm not going to cut my mat, of course. And as I said, I'm not sure if I did say it, because yes, this is the next day. So my oven's ready. I'm just going to make my crackers. And sometimes if you want to, you can make these, you can cook this sheet just as it is and then break them into pieces so that it's very organic looking, very natural looking. Or you can do that. It's completely up to you. So now this is the reason we did this on the silicone mat, because these are really, really thin. And so it just transfers directly to the pan. I'm going to get a fork. I'm going to do what's called docking. And that is just putting, I'm going to need some flour, putting lots of little holes in it. If you think about your saltine crackers, they always have holes in them, right? And that's just to keep them from rising. So guys, let's continue to dock these. And then the next thing we're going to do is, and this is optional, you can skip it if you want to, but I'm going to put a very light egg wash on these, just because I like that sheen. I'm not going to use anything but the yolk. So that gives it a little bit of fat on top as well, and it's really something because we're going to be salting and peppering, and then we're going to put a little bit more of those sesame or Benny seeds on it. I've got my egg now, so remember, we just want the yolk. The first thing that comes out of the egg is the white, so I'm just going to just do that right over the sink. Let that fall in. Put it in somewhere. And wish I had somewhere to put my towels, but I don't. Give that a whisk. I might add just a touch of water to it, just to thin it out a little bit. And get yourself a brush. I have a silicone brush. The bristle brushes work perfectly fine, of course. If you don't want, you don't have sesame seeds, or you don't have Benny seeds, which I know probably don't. I'm strange, and so it's a hazard of the job of being a chef, is that you end up buying things that no one else has ever even heard of. So, Benny seeds, sesame seeds. What I was going to say, until I confused myself, was that if you have it, use everything bagel seasoning. I know it's available in basically every store you go to now. It's become very popular. That would be absolutely delicious. Okay? Don't go too crazy, because there's seeds inside it as well. Okay. Up and away. Now these go into the oven. I'm going to check them. I'm going to check them all the time, but I'm going to start wondering if they're ready in about 15 to 17 minutes. So set those timers, clean up your mess, that's what I'm going to do, and then we'll be right back. And we're back with our crackers. So here we go. These are absolutely beautiful, gorgeous color, nice, crisp. It's a little on the soft side, but they will continue to crisp up as they get cold. So, our absolutely incredible pimento cheese that we made. Just put that in a crock, something pretty. But most importantly, put it on your buttermilk cracker. It's like heaven. If heaven was made out of cheese and onions and garlic and buttermilk. I think heaven is made out of buttermilk, but that's because this is the buttermilk box. So, again, let these cool and become really, really crispy. I'm going to get this plate set up so that we can have a nice picture for everybody to enjoy. And while I'm doing that, I want to say thank you very much for tuning in for this lesson. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves as much as I enjoyed myself. And we'll be back next week. I am going to be going out of town for a couple of days, and so I'll be back making videos when I return. Thank you so much for coming to the Buttermilk Box. This is Chef Terry. Thank you so much.